Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Kawana Rollins, and this is Nicole Kelly. We are the coordinators of the Atlas program, and we thank you all for being here today in support of our graduates. Right now, we're going to introduce our Vice President of Instruction, Mr. Tim Karras, and he will welcome you all.
Thank you.
All right. Oh, good. Okay. I just want to make sure the mic's working for everyone. As it was announced, my name is Tim Karras. I'm the Vice President of Instruction here at College of Alameda. And I just want to welcome everyone here today to this really great event. Graduations are always special moments for everyone. We're really in that season right now of giving thanks and of hope and of joy. And there's nothing more than a graduation kind of encapsulates all those things. You know, the hope of the future, our joy that we've have our graduates making it through our program and being successful and standing here or sitting here right now and getting some degrees today and getting pipelines into some very, very good workforce professions. And then just thankful that you've chosen to come here to the College of Alameda for your educational needs. We are so proud and happy to have you at the College of Alameda. And then hopefully after you get your certificates today in Atlas, there'll be other programs maybe in the future that you want to come to the College of Alameda to partake in, other CTE programs or transfer, and we're all good for that. Or if you have friends when you're working in the field, you say, hey, your buddy who you're working with, there's a certificate that would really help you in your employment and maybe get you a raise with your employer. Come to College of Alameda and we can hook you up and we can give you them some certificates also. So thank you very, very much for coming today. And then I have the pleasure of also announcing for some words from our college president, Dr. Blake. So she'll come up here, because if I have to speak, she has to speak. That's how it works. So that'd be really great.
Good afternoon. I'm really excited. This is my second Atlas graduation, and I'm really excited about the program and the students. And first of all, I'd like to have us give a hand to the coordinators and the staff of the program, because without their organization, their vision, this wouldn't happen for our students. And at College of Alameda, we're definitely committed not just to students transferring to four-year institutions, getting associate degrees, but creating a pipeline to industry and responding to industry needs. Additionally, what that does, not just for us in terms of our goal to educate the community, but to have our students and our community members enjoy the prosperity of the region, so they qualify for jobs that help them earn a competitive wage to support their families and kind of enjoy America's promise. And that's what we're committed to at the College of Alameda. So I have tons of stories, and I can go on and on and on, so because I'm so proud of what we do here. But I'll stop now so we can get on with celebrating the success of our students. So again, I'd like to thank all of the students for choosing College of Alameda. I'd like to thank the staff, the community folks, and our campus community for supporting this program. So have a great time, and I'm looking forward to seeing the graduates come up and get their certificates. Again, thank you.
Now we have a part of our program that's very special, where we have some special guests coming to speak to us to reflect either about Atlas or other parts that are affiliated with Atlas. And our first person to come up to give some words for us is Rodney Scott, who is an alumni of the Atlas program. So please come up, Mr. Scott. You have to either come by this way or all the way. You can squeeze. Oh, wow. I didn't realize there's a big side on that side. There you go.
Good afternoon, everyone. Yeah, I'm an alumni from the program. I graduated through the summer program. First of all, let me tell you guys that's sitting here, you might as well give yourself a hand, because I know you just went through something. You know, they did. I mean, seriously, they went through a lot, and it takes a commitment to say that you're gonna do something, that you're gonna complete it, and trust me when I tell you this also. the people who you went through it with, you're going to continue to know them. I'm still in touch with my class, with Desiree, with Freddie, with Abdul, with a whole bunch of guys we went through our class in the summer. And you gain something now that's going to push you on to do more. For myself, I can tell you that I'm reinventing myself. I mean, because of Nicole and Kawana and the Atlas program, I walked on this campus in March without a clue what I was going to do, where I was going to go. The next day, they had me in class. I graduated, and I just put in an application to go to Cal State Berkeley in the fall. I'm in the middle of, going to Berkeley right now, and I'm in finals week, so I don't have a lot of time to be here today, to be honest with you. I'm also in school at Merritt. I've taken a forklift class here to get me employable. I'm employable now. I can get a job. I actually turned down one the other day when they had the job fair here at College of Alameda in this very room, and it just didn't fit my schedule. So I mean, I'm turning down work. I mean, really, me. And so I want you guys to understand the opportunities that's available for you. And I mean, we had a lot of fun in John's class back there, learning how to drive the forklifts. I had a little experience, a few of us did, and some of us didn't. And it was comical. It was comical to watch us do it, you know, and to see us get through it and get our skills together back. And Veronica don't even have a driver's license, but she was driving the forklift. These things, you know, and you had somebody else in the class that never drove cars. They driving forklifts now. They got a license and they can drive one. So this is a momentous occasion, to be honest with you. And I for one made light of it when I graduated. I did not want to come to my graduation. I'm one of these people. I'm trying to be selfless and just not acknowledge the things that I accomplished, because I've wasted enough time. So I feel like I just need to do what I got to do and not take time out for the attaboys and pats on the back. But I got a call from Nicole, who she made it make sense. She said that, listen, it's not always about you. Sometimes it's about just showing up so people who was in worse shape or the same shape you was in can see that they can do it too. So for that reason, I put that cap and gown on, I showed up. And I'm here today for that same reason. I want to reemphasize that you guys, the doors is open. Pat, me and you just talked about what's going on with me. It's limitless. It really is. I can't just tell you enough, because what the college campus will do for you in ties of making connections and keeping yourself tied into things through the Open Gate program, which helps ex-incarcerated get back into school. I was able to come here and move on. So I ain't gonna keep a whole lot of time, because again, I gotta go study. So I'm gonna pass this on. Take some pictures, man, and I remember this is getting kind of big. Last time it was just a few people here, just us, mostly the graduates, but this is getting kind of big. Y'all got cameras and everything. So I'm gonna pass this on.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Good luck on your final. You'll do well. Yeah, thank you so much. And then one really special thing about the Atlas program is we have, just like we had graduates that just spoke to us, like Mr. Scott, Atlas also brings curriculum together, but really ties to our business and industry partners, and that's what makes it so special. People get employment jobs, and it's through our business and industry partners that come here through job fairs or for placement that really help tie us. And we're lucky today to have two speakers from our business and industry partners here to speak to us. And our first is someone who I just met on Wednesday, so we're all old friends at a sustainability committee meeting over at Laney College, is Lou Raimundetta, who is the president of Surplus Services. So he's gonna come and say a few words for us. So come on up, Lou.
First, I want to say I'm honored to be here. I really appreciate the opportunity for you to give me the opportunity to come in here and chat with you. My name is Lou Raimundetta. Our company is called Surplus Service. I'm the president of it. We're a small, woman-owned business, and we're a green certified business. What we do is we take all the stuff that you guys don't want essentially things like computers, servers, monitors, phones, and we're a little bit unique from the perspective that we're different than most recyclers. We try not to recycle. So what we do is we take the stuff that comes in. We have people that we get from technical universities, and we'll refurbish the items, and then we'll reuse them. So about 85% of what comes into our facility gets repaired, refurbished, and reused rather than recycled. So we think that's a much more green, sustainable option than recycling and or landfilling those items. So I had spoken with Nicole and asked Nicole, what was a good thing to chat about. And she mentioned you should stress focusing on what are the things that employers look for when they're out there trying to hire. So I'm going to focus on a couple of things that we look for from our values perspective. But I also wanted to throw in a few things from a thoughts perspective as I was thinking back to what's important and what's made a difference in my life, because it's been just a couple of years, maybe 1 or 2 years since I graduated. First thing is I keep going to church and telling the Lord that if I win the lottery, I won't be spoiled. I think I'm probably going to the wrong church because so far I haven't won the lottery, and I'm still working every day. So unfortunately, the moral of that story is you need to keep moving forward, and remember that life isn't necessarily always fair. Failure is a part of life, and it makes you stronger. And when times are tough, you have to work harder, and you never have to give up, and you should never give up. Also, another thing that my father taught me is that entitlement really can only hurt you. It can't help you in any way. So my father used to say to us that you kids have one long arm and you have one short arm. The long arm is for taking, and the short arm is for giving. I didn't really realize what that meant until I became a father and I had kids, and then I realized that he was correct. He also used to say to us that our last name is Ramondetta. There's somebody else who has a last name which is Rockefeller. Rockefeller was a multi-billionaire who was an oil magnate, and he would constantly remind us that, your last name is not Rockefeller, it's Ramondetta, which means you got to go out and you got to work a lot harder because nothing's going to be handed to you on a silver platter. Third, I keep telling myself the reason that I keep working is because practice makes perfect. If that were the case, then I should be flawless, but if you listen to my wife and my employees and my kids, they constantly remind me of the fact that I'm not flawless. So the thing that I would tell you is when things go wrong, and they very often do, when the road seems like it's constantly uphill, and it often does, when your funds are low and your debts are high, when you want to smile and you just feel like sighing or crying, rest if you have to, but don't ever quit. You really need to keep trying, because if you don't keep trying, there's really no other option. And then I guess the last thing before I get into what employers are looking for is one thing I've also learned is that experience is often something that you don't learn until after you need it. So unfamiliar experiences generate fear, and you guys have all gone through, and I think you said it very eloquently, the first speaker. You took a challenge and you did something that was very difficult to do, and I'm sure very fearful to do, but you did it anyway. Fear means that you're pushing yourself. Don't be afraid of fear. Be confident in your abilities and believe in yourself. And fear sharpens you and it challenges you. And not running away from fear will make you the best possible person that you can be. So I also want to highlight a little bit and transition a little bit into what employers look for when they're hiring people. So when we hire people, and I think most, there's going to be another employer who's going to talk after us, but I think most employers look for this. We call it the 3 E's. The first E is energy. So we're looking for people who have boundless energy. We want people who come into work and they're not there a minute before or a minute after work starts. We want people who are excited to be there because they like their job and they're willing to put in the extra time to be there. We also look for another E, and that E is enthusiasm. From an enthusiasm perspective, we're looking for people with a positive attitude. It is incredibly easy in a work environment, whether you're in a big corporation or in our case, I never thought this would happen, but even in a small company, it's incredibly easy to have a negative atmosphere just proliferate through an organization. And it's really incumbent upon the employees to make sure that doesn't happen. So when we're hiring and we're evaluating people, we're looking for people who really have that positive attitude. We're looking for people who are fun to be around, that we want to be with on a daily basis. We're also looking for people who have edge. By edge, what I mean is people like the people here. People who are smart, people who are creative, people who come up with solutions. Anybody can complain. What drives me nuts as an employer is when somebody comes into my office with a complaint and they don't come in with a solution. What's really important for employers, especially small employers, because we don't have a lot of resources, so we're incredibly dependent on our employees. What's important to us is that you come to us with solutions and you really help proliferate those solutions through the organization, because those are the people that we want to keep with us forever and ever, and those are the people we want to promote. From a values perspective, the values that we look for in our employees are integrity and honesty. We're looking for people who come in, they work, they get their job done, they don't go onto the internet, they don't do things that they're not supposed to do from an equipment perspective on company time. They treat, one of the first things I learned when I got hired, my boss told me, is treat the company money like it's your own money. And also make sure that that the employer and that your counterparts, your peers, can depend on you through good and bad times. Be responsive is another value that we look for. And for us, what we do with customers is the most important work that we do. Business and being able to support customers in an agile and timely manner is incredibly important. So it's important to show up on time, to meet requests within a very timely fashion. I tell my people, if somebody asks you something either internally or especially from a customer's perspective, try to respond to that at least within 24 hours. And then, really put in the extra effort as though it's your own company. Go the extra effort. If I didn't really realize this until I had my own business, but now that I have my own business, when I'm at another business, especially a small business, I can automatically tell who the owner of that business is or who the manager of that business is, because that's the person who's putting in the extra effort. And all of you here need to put in that extra effort as well, because if you do that, you're going to be the people who are going to be the managers, the owners, and the leaders for the businesses going forward. Accountability is also a big thing that we look for. Results-oriented, we try to empower our employees. It's important for employees to ask for help when they need it. There's nothing more frustrating for an employer that when we think you're doing something and we think you're doing it right, all of a sudden it doesn't get done right because you didn't ask for help and stuff ends up happening. Something I learned early on is it's always better to understand a little than try to misunderstand a lot. So the other thing is teamwork. Teamwork's incredibly important. Not all of us are operating at the same level in the same areas. So you might be really good at one area, for example, driving a forklift, and somebody else might be good at another area. It's important for you to make sure you share your experience and your skills with others so that as a whole the team performs as well as the team can possibly perform. And lastly is innovative solutions, which is what I mentioned earlier. Show leadership, show promotability. I can't tell you enough how much employers look for that. We are so dependent on good people. And when we have good people, there's nothing more than what we want to do is keep those people for long periods of time and promote them through the company. So show leadership, make recommendations, solve problems, and that's really what business wants for you. So thank you for giving me the opportunity to chat, and I wish you guys all the best. I think you're going to do a great job.
Thank you very much. And next we have our next speaker from our industry partners, and we have Scott Spiro from PepsiCo. He's the operations manager. And we have a balloon that just popped in the back, so don't worry.
So first off, I just want to extend another hand to the graduates for the dedication and sacrifice that you guys have made. So again, my name is Scott Spire. I work for PepsiCo, and I'm the senior operations manager here in the Hayward manufacturing facility. What you guys have just gone through is a testament to your own ability to overcome obstacles, and show really what you can do. It's not just a sacrifice for yourself, but also to your families and your loved ones. Recognize it isn't easy. And that determination, that sacrifice, and that hard work is what is going to make you successful when you come out of school and out into industry. Just as Lou was talking about, the values that from a small business that you're looking for, the same as a big business: dedication, hard work, team players, thinking innovatively, working with your teams. They all are common traits that are going to make you successful out there in industry, which will provide back to your families and your loved ones. And so, that really is a huge testament, to what you've just done, and what you will do. I came from a farming family, and I remember hard work was one of the core values. Getting up early as the sun rose, staying out there till the sun set, and making sure we didn't leave anything on the ground that wasn't taken into account, because every little bit counts. Those values are the values that you have right now. Working hard, taking everything into account, sacrificing. And so that's really what's going to drive you forward. Now, from from industry, and I was asking, hey, what's going on in industry, from warehousing, logistics, what does the outlook out there look like? We work in a very fast-paced industry, especially being in the Bay Area. All kinds of things are going on. And so it really goes back to those values of hard work, communication, working together as a team. And those are the things that I look for when I hire. I'm involved in a lot of hiring events and hiring involved within our warehousing operations. Those values don't change. Just as, as we see, you see out there in tech industries and Amazon, and looking at all the technology that's coming in from a warehousing standpoint, and you see the drones, they're going to start dropping drone packages and everything. At the end of the day, the skills that you've gone through are really your foundation to help you make decisions. Companies are looking for you to be able to understand, hey, how fast the workplace goes, but then how do you apply your skills that you just took into industry? We don't expect you to know everything. We expect you to have those common core values and to work hard and work together as a team. No one expects you to have all the answers. That's not expected. But what is valued is that hard work, that determination. So today, I just want to say congratulations to the graduates. You've deserved it. Take this moment to reflect. You've put a lot of hard work in. Enjoy the time, because there's a lot of work that continues to be done, and the success that you will have, I know you will have out there, is going to bring you great joy and happiness. So again, a hand to the graduates, and thank you.
Before we move on to the next part of our program, I just want to give, I think we should give a special thanks to all the people who are sitting in the chairs not right next to me, but on the other side, out in the audience, for all the people who have supported the graduates to get to this point. There's your loved ones, your partners, your sons, your daughters, your grandparents, maybe whoever it is, your friends. You're all sitting out there, and I really think we all need to give you a round of applause to making it happen, because it's a whole family that takes this to happen. So thank you very much for supporting our graduates in their lives. And actually, at this point, we're moving to just a part of the program that's sort of a little mini kind of open mic period. So if there's any graduate who wants to come up and say some few words about their experience in the program, or anything else you want to say about your time in the program, you can come up right now and just say a few words. No pressure. Anyone want to come up and say anything? Okay, got Gabriel, a little peer pressure going on, but that's okay.
Hello, everybody. Good afternoon. Yes, I'm Gabriel. Gabriel Quinones. Yes. I used to work at the YEP Youth Employment Partnership. It's a job cleaning the streets, everything, but I did forklift operation job, but it's just temporary class. It's not every day like the other jobs like the Home Depot and the warehouse. But I enjoy working that job. I got a B.
Very good.
Hello, Mr. Taylor.
Great, thank you. Good job. Thank you. All right. So at this point, I think we're going to go to the part that people have been waiting for. Is actually the awarding of the certificates. So we have one of our faculty members, Arthur Morgan, who's going to come up to help with the awarding of the certificates. And we do have some other, once again, faculty and supporters on the college that are here that have made Atlas possible. So I want to really thank PJ and Kwana again and Nicole for everything they do to make Atlas a very, very strong program. So Arthur, if you come on up, we can do the awarding of the certificates, and Nicole can assist.
Thanks, Tim and Nicole. I just want to congratulate the students, graduates also, on completing 6 weeks of pretty tough material. I wanted to make you guys aware of the fact that you now have a thing called stackable certificates. You have a certificate in warehouse operations, a certificate in forklift operations, a certificate in OSHA safety, and a certificate in hazmat safety. So that's something you should really take into account. Put that on your resumes. I would say put that in your packet with your resume. Present that to employers. Talk it up. Don't be ashamed. That's something that employers are looking for. I'm sure these two gentlemen will agree with that. I also want to just leave you with what I always give to every class is my 3 Ps, which is purpose, persistence, and planning. Actually, purpose, planning, and persistence. Purpose would be establish an objective in your life and stick to it. That's your purpose. Plan would be the plan to reach that objective. And of course, persistence would be just that, stick to it. There's going to be bumps in the road, there's going to be ups and downs. Don't let people discourage you, don't get knocked off the course, stay the course, and stick with it. And it will lead to a successful life, not only in the workplace, your personal life, or anything else that you go into. So that's pretty much it. With that, we'll get into the awards. Nicole?
I'm just going to assist Art in calling the names as he hands out the certificates. So as your name is called, if you can come up and grab your certificate. So we're going to start with Patrick Dwayne Kelly. Joseph J. Brewer. Some are not here today, but I'm going to call them down and we can acknowledge them as well. Kenneth Chow. Sequala Gonzalez. William B. Graham. Veronica Victoriana Hart.
Mr. Morgan. Thank you, Mr. Morgan.
Derek Lynn Hockett.
I think Derek is working for sure. I think he has a job.
Well, that's great. McConan Keefley. Okay. James Edward Meineke. Damian D. Owens. Gabriel Quinones. Roni M. Rubin. Patrick Vaca Sr. Andrew Lee Williams. Joe Denham.
Joe Denham.
Yes. Joe Denham. We'd like to acknowledge Mr. Denham for completing the forklift training course.
Okay. Now, we had, I'll do this little part here. One of the things that we stress and emphasize in class is being to class on time and coming to class every day. That's what employers look for. Both speakers mentioned that. And we had 3 students that not only had perfect attendance, but were never late. So we have a separate award for those 3, and we like to present those at this time. The first perfect attendance goes to Roni Rubin. Congratulations. Second perfect attendance goes to James Manicky. Congratulations. And the third one goes to McKinnon Kafel. Okay. So what do we do next? It's up to you.
Before we conclude and you guys partake in the refreshment, I want to acknowledge our district warehouse supervisor, Shawnee Martinez, and Jake Hendricks. They are here because we've partnered up with the district office to offer internships to our students. So I invited them to the graduation so they could see who they're supporting. And so we're reviewing the applications now, and we'll be giving the candidates a call sometime next week once we've gone through it and, begin the interview process so you guys can start to intern. But these are our guys, and I just want to thank them for coming in and participating and also just supporting us by offering these internships to our students. So.
All right, so I think with that, so congratulations again to all the graduates today. And now is the very, very nice part, because we do have some cake and refreshments over to my left, your right most likely. And so please partake in some good refreshments and enjoy each other's company. All right, thank you very much for coming out. And once again, thank you to the graduates. Good job.